Hello, family, BioRave fam. It's your girl Pearl. I am so happy to be here with you all. Happy Monday. If you're new to the space, we are here every Monday. We go live and talk about various different topics. I'm currently in a series, we're doing a Thriving Sober series. And this series is just going to talk about various aspects of what I believe is required in order to thrive sober. All right, a big pillar and a big passion and a big value of us in this community is being able to thrive sober. And when I say sober, I really encourage you to create your own definition of this because everyone has their own relation to what being sober means. When I say sober for myself, I don't mean never ever doing anything ever again for your entire life. I think that's very unrealistic, especially as someone like myself that loves the party and go out and do all the things. But I am saying to what it means to me is healing your relationship with said thing, healing your relationship with alcohol or substances or whatever, and being able to be completely whole all on your own, to have the energy, to have the confidence to be fully expressed on your own without relying on anything, without needing anything. And then if you choose to, from a conscious place, from an empowered place, from a knowledgeable place, if you choose to then indulge in alcohol or substances or whatever it is, then that's something that you can use to enhance your experience in an intentional way. Now, that's what I believe being sober is. Now, we're talking about today how to let loose and not let anxiety rule your life, okay? If you're anything like I used to be, or maybe you can relate, but you had a hard time letting loose, being your full self, had a hard time, or maybe you do currently have a hard time just being able to relax and feel safe to say what you want to say or move how you want to move, or if you're going out, or yeah, just being able to just relax into yourself. And a lot of times people, when we go out, when we experience things, we have social anxiety, right? We're like, oh, what are they gonna think? Oh my gosh, do I look weird? Am I awkward? Oh my God, do I look okay? Like, oh man, especially if you're dancing, because a lot of the people I work with and a lot of things in the environments that I'm in are dancing, our raves, our parties, our festivals. And a lot of people say to me, like, because I talk to a lot of people and I ask these questions and I'm really inquisitive and I'm curious. Like, yeah, I just get in my head and I think I look awkward and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I can't really dance and I'm not a good dancer unless I XYZ, unless I have a few drinks. Oh, I need a few drinks to help me get loose. Oh, no, I need to do XYZ. I need to be high or do Molly or whatever, be on K, whatever it is to let loose, right? And that's what they currently believe. But I don't believe that's the case because it's not that these things magically allow you to let loose. Yeah, of course, sometimes they do. There's like different things that happen within the body. But I really believe it's a mindset thing because our brains are so powerful. And there has been studies done, the placebo effect and nocebo effect. People would drink what they think was wine and start acting drunk and being loosey-goosey and more themselves. But it was just water or was just this other, it wasn't alcohol. There was no alcohol in it. But it's the idea that we are taking something or doing something or drinking something, and then we give ourselves the permission to let loose. And then we use that said thing as a scapegoat to be like, oh, yeah, it's because I was drunk. Oh, yeah, it's because I was high. Or, oh, yeah, man, I can't believe I did that. Wow. Like, because of this, because of that. We give our power away all the time. We don't have to. A big part of this movement as well is taking your power back, knowing that you have the power, you have everything you need within you. You just need to unleash it, right? And so when it comes to letting loose, when it comes to being more of yourself, being comfortable, being safe, feeling good to be fully expressed and to dance and to move and to do the things that you know you want to do that are more like resonating with you, right? This comes down to a couple things. And the biggest thing that I want to say is really about your state of being and your mindset and how you're feeling. Okay. So I'll use this as a personal experience. I know for me, a big piece of letting loose and being more of myself was actually giving myself permission to, because I wasn't actually allowed to when I was younger, quote unquote allowed to. But I felt like I had to be a different version of myself when I was younger, be quieter, be less loud, dance smaller, not be so vibrant and myself and like personable and like, because I was really loud. I am really loud and I am very much a big energy and I am, someone that will speak my words and say the truth and whatever. And when I was younger, I realized like this, I was told and conditioned that it wasn't good. Like, oh no, stop that, be quieter. Why are you so loud? Why do you laugh like that? Why are you dancing like that? Your dance makes me uncomfortable. Oh, why are you doing this? Ooh, why are you wearing that? What, And I got questioned a lot for being me. And that made me feel like I couldn't be me. So as I got older and as I became an adult, I had to relearn how to be me. I'm like, who the hell is Pearl? Who am I? Right? Like, how do I want to show up? What feels good to me? How do I fully express myself? And so I want you to reflect that on yourself. If you're feeling like, yeah, I want to let loose more, like I want to be able to be more myself. Like people often say to me, they're like, wow, I wish I could dance on my stories like you do. I'm like, why can't you? Of course you can. But it's the idea that you can't. So what are the things that you're holding yourself back with within your mind? Whether it means, oh, I can't dance unless I have a drink, or I can't show up a certain way unless I have makeup on, or I can't say this thing because I blah, blah, I'm working on learning to create safety within the body, knowing that it's actually okay for me to do that, right? And some of the ways you can do that is by doing the thing and then calming down yourself and your nervous system and creating a different narrative around it. For example, when I used to go out by myself, when I had my party phase, I used to go out a lot by myself. And at first, I felt very uncomfortable, one, being there by myself, but two, fully dancing and expressing how I wanted to. So I'd really hold back. I'd dance pretty small and I'd like, just be in the back corner, just like, dancing. I'd be like, you know, not really like I am a dancer. I've been dancing for a long time. I want to like get in, like, oh, fully move my body, fully express. I didn't feel safe to because it was all up in here. No one was telling me I couldn't. I was in the back corner. I had all the space in the world, right? But it was all up in here. So what I started doing was really just dancing bigger. And once I did that, I was like, oh, nothing happened. Like literally nothing happened. I was like, oh, no one said anything. No one told me I had to be smaller. No one came up to me and said, oh my God, why are you doing that? It makes me uncomfortable. I was like, oh, okay. So I started to learn that, oh, it's okay. Like it is safe. I can dance big in the club. Like, okay, like, because the past experiences I had an imprint. So I have to create new experiences and new positive encounters with this thing, right? So for me, it was being able to dance fully express at the club. But for you is what is it? Maybe it is that, maybe it's something else. So depending on a situation, you're going to act how you would want to act, like be your full self, be fully expressed, and then notice what happens and remember that experience. So you're going to really either take a mental note. A really good way to help your subconscious mind to imprint these things is to create a positive emotion around it. If you can create a positive emotion around something, your brain's going to remember it. Be like, oh, that was good. This happened. Oh, that was positive. I feel good about that. I want to do that again. Okay. So maybe, for example, you're with your friend group and you feel uncomfortable expressing or being your full self or whatever because someone's going to say something or whatever it is that comes up for you. So next time with the friend group, you're going to, push your limits a little bit and be more expressed, be more yourself. And you're going to be like, likely nothing's going to happen and depends on your friends group. And if something negative does happen, that's even feedback for like, oh, is this something I want to create? Like, do I want this environment for myself? Maybe not. And then you get to create a new pattern and a new lived experience that's positive around that thing. So the more I just started dancing fully expressed at the club, I was like, oh, like this is vibes. Like I am living my best life. And it just became more of a thing. And because I was able to do it by myself and no one was around me, I now am able to do it at all times with anyone. Even when I'm with friends, I no longer care what people think of my dancing. Because one, I really built my confidence through dancing, and I know I'm a good dancer, right? That's through repetition, that's through practice. The only way you can get good at something is through practice. So if you desire to get good at something, let's say it's dancing, then you need to practice, right? You need to do it. One of the ways that I really built my confidence, I wasn't always confident in my dance moves, even though I've danced for a long time. I wasn't always confident in my dance moves. It was from me practicing every single day in the mirror. I do mirror work every day. It's a big part of my coaching, a big part of what I believe that we need to do every day to really build our confidence. And for me, mirror work has changed so much for me. I will look at myself in the mirror. I'll say positive things. I'll work on my self-image, my confidence, on how I speak to myself, how I view my body, and I'll dance and I'll practice dance moves and I'll play songs and I'll just dance in the mirror and I'll have fun and I'll just be loose and be my full self and fully accepting all parts of me in that moment in the mirror and having the time of my life. Like truly, my mornings when I do mirror work, which is every morning, I have the time of my life. Like it's the most fun I have in the morning, like hands down. And this ties to my next point is how to let loose more. Okay, so the first point, if you want to get better at something, you gotta practice it. So you need to think about what you want to do, what you want to get better at, what you want to improve. And if that is being more of yourself in social settings, you need to practice that. The only way to get that experience and get those reps in and build a positive imprint on your brain is by doing it. So every time you go out now, you're going to be doing that to create that because that's what you want, right? So next piece is letting loose, being able to let loose anywhere you're at, being able to fully accept yourself and love yourself for who you are and let loose and just be your full self, knowing that you are the vibe, you are the sauce. Okay. And this comes down to your mindset, how you view yourself. How do you speak to yourself? How do you think about yourself? When you look at yourself in the mirror, what comes up? What do you say? How do you think? Do you tell yourself you're so beautiful and you're amazing? Or do you say, oh my God, I'm ugly. I look bad today. I look tired today. Oh my God, I'm so, what's your self-talk like? When I was able to shift my self-talk, my whole life changed. Like I used to be the person that would beat myself up and oh my God, you're so ugly. Your skin sucks. Your hair is ugly. Your eyes suck. Like no one likes you. Look at that. You need to lose weight. Like so negative about myself because that's what I was conditioned to do. And then I realized, I'm like, this is shitty. Like, why do I do this? Why do I make myself feel like shit every day? This is horrible. And then I realized, okay, let me change how I speak. And just by taking the tiniest steps, like at first it was really, really hard for me to learn how to be nice to myself. It was very hard for me to like say one nice thing about myself, which is really sad. But I'd be like, okay, Pearl, like, what is one thing like about yourself? And I would look at myself in the mirror and like, I'd be like, what is one thing I like about myself? And sometimes it would bring me to tears because I would have nothing to say. And I was like, okay, I guess my eyes are kind of nice. I guess, like, and I have like I need to pull. It's like pulling teeth trying to get myself to say something nice about myself. And obviously I practice that every day in the morning. Okay, Pearl, what's one thing you can say about yourself that's nice, that's positive, that's empowering? And I'd be like, I guess, and eventually it became easier. I'd be like, you know what? I like my teeth. I had braces. I actually really like my teeth. My nose is kind of cute. My ears. My eyes. Oh, okay, like my eyebrows. Oh, my collarbone. And I started being like, okay, this and that and this and that. And every day for the last 3-4 years, I've been doing that. And now you cannot get me to shut up. You cannot get me. I've now conditioned myself from practice and from positive feelings. These two things are so key when it comes to rewiring your brain. I talk a lot about this in my programs. When it comes to rewiring your brain, you got to practice. You got to get a good feeling in there. Now, I have conditioned myself. Every time I see my reflection, it's like an instant positive compliment, hype yourself up. Even when I'm walking on the street and I look at myself in the mirror and I see my reflection, instant, like I have literally brainwashed myself to become more confident, to say nice things about myself. intentionally because I wanted to feel better about myself. So how can you, if you're someone that wants to be able to be fully expressed and love yourself, you start to love yourself and embrace all of you. And a great way to do that is through mirror work, right? Now, the next piece of that is being able to just be who you want to be in your own experience, in your own company, without judgment, without anything, right? And that can be also when you're doing mirror work, but just in your day-to-day life. Like, I have become so much more happier and silly and expressed and whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm just so much myself when I'm with myself. If you cannot be yourself with yourself, it's very hard to be yourself when you're around others, when you're in an environment where people are there. So you first must practice that with yourself, being more loose. And I talk to yourself. Like, I make jokes. I talk to myself. I'm the silliest person ever. I'm just like laughing at myself. And I do all these things. And I make myself, these cute little voices. And I do this and that. And like I dance and I twerk. And I'm just, when I'm at home with myself. And that literally is so liberating. I never make myself, I don't like, oh, why are you doing that? Oh, don't say that. Oh, I'm like, yes. How can you be more of you? And then once that becomes a norm, and it takes time, of course. And then when you're out there, it becomes more natural because you're just yourself with yourself. So when you're out there, you're also just yourself. When you're being you and you're charismatic and your personality and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, ooh, and just being you. And that's so beautiful. Because being you is a gift to people. It truly is. It gives them permission to them be themselves as well. So this ties in to letting loose and not letting social anxiety take over, because you can practice now feeling less anxious because one, you are more confident in yourself. You've practiced, you've built the positive pathways, you built the positive feelings, right? It will let loose. You love yourself. You worked on yourself, right? You have worked on the narratives that come up. You've worked on healing the inner child stuff that when people made you feel like you were too small. And that's a daily practice. So now when you go out, you don't feel as anxious because you've built your self-confidence. And a big piece is like, oh my God, I look stupid. I look dumb. Like, no, I look great. Like, you look good because you do. You see yourself every day. You you look good. You can dance. You've practiced this. You're a charisma. You know who you are. It's like really being self-aware and being like, you know what? I'm going to go out and do whatever it is you're doing. I'm going to show up as myself and it's going to be great. No one's going to judge me because my friends are amazing. No one's going to look at me like I'm stupid because I'm not. And like, and people aren't judging you anyway. So it's like how you're framing it in your mind, right? And for me, it's like when I go and dance, I inspire others to dance. The more I dance, the bigger I dance, the more self-expressed I am. And of course, it's a huge part of my movement is helping people dance. And a big piece of that is your inner confidence and just being able to let go and not care about what anyone else might think and work on your narrative around that. But when I go dance and like I'm fully expressed, the amount of people that come up to me and they're like, wow, like you're an incredible dancer. Thank you for dancing like that. You helped me dance bigger. You helped me be a better dancer. I literally had someone come up to me one night. I was just like living my best life, dancing my ass off. And this person literally said, you made my day. You made my entire day because you allowed me to dance more like me. And he was like, that was the best gift. I literally started tearing up. I was like, are you kidding me? The more self-expressed you can be, the more is a gift to people because you allow them to then be like, oh, I could be myself. Because so many of us, we have experiences in the past that really caused us to alter ourselves and not be our full self or full expression and hold back so many beautiful parts of ourselves because we're scared of being judged or shamed or having negative experience or whatever. And of course, we all have had that growing up in some way, shape, or form. But I really believe it's up to us to work on healing that and understanding that as we get older and as we evolve, like those old patterns and those old mindsets are only hindering us. They're not allowing us to level up and become who we want to be. So it's our job to shift that, our job to change our mindset, right? Okay, so quick recap before I go into the last piece. Okay, so letting loose, right? How can you let loose more? How can you do more mirror work? How can you practice being more yourself in your own space with in your own company? How can you work on your mindset, how you view yourself, improve how you speak about yourself? How can you compliment yourself more, right? How can you just be more of you and fully accept you? So when you're out there, you are feeling good about you. Because when you feel good about you and you always go with you, you're going to feel good, whether you're out there or in here. Yeah. Then it's like, how can we practice the things you want to practice? Is that you want to get better at dancing? Okay, how can you practice that every day? Is that you want to, feel better when you're in certain environments? So how can you practice that when you're with your friends? How can you practice being more yourself? And then creating those positive environments, those positive reactions. Get your brain to remember, oh, that was actually a really positive experience. Okay, cool. Next time I do that, it's going to be great. And you get to now build those positive reinforcements. Okay. And now the next piece is reducing your social anxiety. So there's one piece of it is like, yes, doing the mindset work, bringing safety in nervous system, right? Feeling safe, practicing being yourself, understanding the mindset piece. But also a big piece of anxiety and your nervous system comes down to your health, your physical well-being affects your nervous system, right? So this then comes down to your daily habits that help you regulate your nervous system. So there's obviously so many more I can dive into. I just did a training on this with my clients. So if you want to learn more, definitely DM me. But it's like, are you doing daily habits that support your nervous system so you can feel less anxious on a daily basis? Okay, so it's like regulating your breath, meditating, journaling, nervous system regulation, like somatics, like shaking, like expressing, like dancing. Is it journaling, eating balanced meals, nourishing your gut, because the gut brain connection and it really ties into your nervous system, de-stressing, setting boundaries. Like there's so many things that could go on and on. But are you doing these things to help you create more calm within you, within your nervous system, these habits, these patterns? Are you exercising? Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Sleep's a huge one. Drink enough water. All these daily habits support your nervous system, which then support how you feel on a regular basis. So the more healthy your nervous system is, the less anxious you're going to feel. And that's a really big piece. So the daily habits as well that help you. So when you have those daily habits, you work on your mindset, you work on your self-talk, you build your confidence, you're able to be loosey-goosey with yourself, you're able to create positive experiences around being yourself, around being fully expressed, around being loose and loosey-goosey. You know what's up. You feel good about yourself. And then when you're in public settings, you can just be yourself because you feel good. Like what you're creating is good. You've worked on your mindset and then you get to be that. That's literally what I've done to help me create. I am myself. And then when you're in this space, you no longer desire to have a drink or to do XYZ or to get really high because you're able to get loose on your own because you are your own power. You have your own drugs within you. You can get loose anytime. Literally, you can get loose anytime. You don't have to wait for a specific time to get loose. Why don't you just get loose right now? Go get loose. That's your challenge today. Go get loose. Like, what does getting loose even mean to you? Like, get clear about that, right? And so now you have this built-in resilience and built-in capacity and confidence and self-love and full expression and knowing that this is you and you love you and you get to be you. So when you're able to do that in any setting, anywhere, that then becomes now like another skill you have. So now if you do decide and if you do choose to do XYZ, to drink, to do drugs, whatever, it's not coming from a place of, oh, because I need to get loose. It's because maybe you just feel called to, or maybe it's going to enhance your experience or whatever your intention is. But knowing that you can get loose is just a state of being. It's being calm, it's being fully expressed, it's feeling safe to just relax and be you. And, I don't know why the word I'm looking for is not coming, but when you're in a calm nervous system, you're able to be looser, easier, because it feels safe and you're calm and you are just in that open mode. But when you are stressed out, when your nervous system is in its fight or flight, and you're like this, and like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me, and oh my gosh, everyone's judging me, and I can't do this, and I look awkward, and I can't dance, and oh my gosh, and you're in your head, and all these things are happening. There's no way you can be loose. It's impossible to be loose and to be yourself and to be self-expressed and to be that fun, outgoing, passionate, personable human being that you are if you can't calm down, relax into you, right? So there's a lot of things I talked about there, but I would love for you to take what you got from this, whatever's coming up for you, and share it in the group after you watch this. And think about what are some things you can do on a daily basis to regulate your nervous system? How can you practice being kinder to yourself, having better self talk? How can you practice being more of yourself without judgment in your own company? How can you practice mirror work or dancing or whatever it is that you're feeling called to do so you can be more of yourself, create safety in being you, and reducing your anxiety by creating these new narratives and bringing calm to your system when you're out navigating, right? So I want you to reflect on that. Share your takeaways from this live in the group. And if you have any questions, of course, please let me know. If you want to join any of my programs where I dive deep into this work, I have 2 programs and they're so juicy. Like we dive deep into creating your healthy habits, your mindsets, working on your intuition, listening to your body, healing through the things in the past, and just creating really supportive systems in your life to help you thrive. If that's for you, DM me and I would love to chat about any of those options. But otherwise, I'll see you in the group, post in the group, and I cannot wait to hear what you thought about today's live. And of course, if you want anything else, if you want any topics, I'm happy to chat about them all. And just let me know. So this is our live this week. I'll see you in the group. There's things that are going to be updating and changing. And I'm just happy to have you here. And let's go live our most lit up lives, baby. Eat more plants and do more dance. And I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.